ask you the same thing. What are you trying to stress as you start going in here? Just a few more practices together.
Everything's in. Now we've got to start honing in on, I heard DJ, fundamentals and technique. We got to get better at what we do. First steps, finishing, becoming tougher, executing on every single play. That's what we're looking for now. We're done installing. Put just a couple more things in today, and that we needed to do. Some things that are going to help our defense, and then to see if we could do it. So now it's about let's hone in. All the red zone in, all the third downs in, and so now let's put it together. Let's start being more consistent from here until we end the spring game. Say again. Well, I think he started out really well the first couple, weeks. Then he got hurt, and so that what I liked about it in that scrimmage that he got hurt, he jumped right back in there. He popped tweaked his hamstring a little bit, and we went outside with him, and he came back and he said, "Hey, coach, just run me inside. I'm good to go. Just run me inside." And he showed me a little toughness. He came back in. He's fighting through it at practice, and today he looked healthier, like he was the first week. So hopefully we'll get something out of him this Saturday. But that's one of our guys that brings the leadership to our offense. He's a senior. He brings a lot of energy. He really does. He's laughing, having a good time. Sometimes I got to pull him in a little bit and let him know when it's time to have fun and not to have fun. But you like that, It's better to say whoa than giddy up. Today I thought Drew made some steps. I think he's looking more comfortable in the pocket. Where we get a wide rush, he's stepping up, he's not panicking, and saw him hit a couple checkdowns today in the red zone, which was really good. It's us or nobody down there, and so I saw some really good things. I thought he took a step up today.
What kind of potential does he have?
Shoot. I mean, I think they all have great potential. Just the way I go about it, but I think he's got a chance to be a really good quarterback in this league. I really do. I think because he wants to be great. He is really locked into what we're doing. He's trying to be a sponge. He's trying to do everything right. It's frustrating for him when he doesn't, but that's what you want your quarterback to do. And I think he's being a leader at the same time.
Is he just missing experience?
Yeah, I think so. He didn't play much last year, so I think when you see him now and you see him in a couple of years, I think you're going to see a really, really good quarterback. I mean, a guy that can lead this team. So, he's getting pushed by Steven, which is a great thing, and Steven's made some strides too. So, it's really good to see that those guys are competing.
Are you a coach that feels strongly that you need to have a starter in place by the time summer starts to kind of organize the group and get those things done?
That's a good part about it is Coach Stoops gets to make those decisions. I want competition. I really do. So, we'll let Coach make that decision, and then we'll see as we go. If there's a huge step, then you name a guy. If there's not, then you let him compete. So I think that's where we'll go with that one.
What do you see in Drew's leadership skills?
He's not panicking. He's encouraging. He's a guy that's been even keel, consistent, and he's. They know that he's working at it. They know what he's doing on and off the field, and he's doing everything right as a quarterback should. And I think Steven's bringing that to the table too. I love his demeanor out there. It's never too high, never too low, and that's what you want from your leader.
Physically, George Asafa looks the part of an SEC lineup. Can you tell he got something out of playing as a freshman last year and going against SEC?
There's no question. When you get freshmen that get the opportunity, and I heard him talking about Beatty, now we really got to hone in on his technique and doing all the little things. Then he gets a new offense. So, you got to step back. Now we got to go forward. I think moving him inside to guard is huge. I think he can be somebody that can be really, really good for us at that position, and I think it'll help George too. And then later on down the road, it might help him that he played some tackle. So I think that's good for him too in the future.
George said that the offensive line sort of feels like they have something to prove that they are, a SEC quality offensive line. Are you seeing that sort of, hunger to prove something this spring?
I like our two deep, especially right now. I think they're really athletic. I think they're doing a good job. I hope they all have something to prove, and so that's good. We got to become more physical. We can't be going sideways at the line of scrimmage. We got to create a new line of scrimmage. Sometimes we don't. We've gotten better. We've run the ball well. I'm excited about it. I'm pleased about it. But we're not anywhere near where we need to be. But I think their physicality, I think it's a smart group. I think they're football smart. They understand there's not a lot of missed assignments. And with a new offense and what we're doing and what we've thrown at them, it's really exciting to see. I really like the way those guys go into the film room, and Coach Schlarman's done a really good job with them. And there's just not a lot of missed assignments, and that's pretty good for your first time installing.
And you've got, as a group of running backs, it seems like you do something different each of the four returning guys. Can you talk about that group and the flexibility, if you see it that way, that they do?
Yeah, you do. Hopefully with tempo offense, you run a lot of plays and you can use a lot of backs. If somebody's got the hot hand, you go with it. But if you can get 80 plays in a game, and I don't know if you can, that would be fantastic. There's not anybody that can play like that. But you do have some change-ups. You've got JoJo and you've got Mikkel that are kind of pounders and they go, and then you've got Boom and you've got Saeem that are more slashers. And so I think you do. You have a change-up there. And you've got to be able to call accordingly.
You said, on George, back to George, you said that you think it helps both you and him that he's a guard now. Why? How so?
I think just because of the space part of it in there, when you're in guard and you get help from that center and tackle, I think he's better in that little smaller box than he is out on the edge. Those are tough. Those are, not that George isn't a big guy, but you like the maybe longer arms, taller guys out there at the tackle position. So I just think he feels more comfortable inside.
Strength helping.
Oh yeah, he's nasty. He's punched. That's where you want to move it. You want the 300, 320 pounder guys inside. You want the longer guys outside. That's what you would really like in terms of what you're going to be facing in this league.
You said this offense includes more pulling, which he really likes. Is that a facet of this offense?
Absolutely. We're going to have zone schemes. We're going to have gap schemes, and we did some pull schemes again, some gap stuff today that we tried to just see where we are, because we are athletic there. So we wanted to see how another scheme to see if we could get two at a time pulling, and so that'll be fun to watch on film today to see how that went. And it's great to go against this defense, to be in an odd front, a 3-4 team, because we're going to play so many teams in our conference that are going to be running the 3-4. So it just helps us so much to be able to start like this and do this.
Why is pulling advantageous in this offense?
Well, it depends on what they're doing. Pulling and the gap schemes are for penetrating defenses. You want to gap down and you want to pull, get your guys out in space. And then when you got a movement defense, then you want a zone block, because it's hard to gap and man when guys are moving. So when people are moving, then we want to zone, because now we're just zoning gaps. So we've got to do a good job understanding, listening on the sideline, seeing what's going on in the box. And so you got to have both, though. And then when they do move and you have a gap scheme, you got to be able to block it. And we weren't great at that last year, and they've gotten better. I think right now, with some of the movement that we've seen, we've been able to block some things that we've checked before in the past, and we're not doing that right now. Our guys are seeing it, and that's huge, because then we can play faster and we don't have to check, because a lot of times you check, they check. And so for us to be able to, if we can develop and we can evolve to that, it could be really good for us.
Ed, is your offense capable of running at the tempo that you want it to be installed?
No, I don't think so. But what I was excited about today, I thought we played pretty fast in the 2-minute drill today. We had our first situation. We've done third down. We've done red zone, which are just crucial. Those are critical for offenses and defenses. And then we had a 2-minute situation today, and the ones went down, and we were able to go down, and we scored. I thought they ran it well. They were getting up to the line. They were going quick, and you can see how that affects the pass rush if you're playing fast, because then you eliminate it. And you got to throw and catch. You throw and catch, and you keep going. Then those guys get tired. The second group, not so good. We got backed up. We dropped the ball in first down. Now you're 2nd and 10. And then we got a sack. Now you're in bad shape, and then now you're hoping and praying. And then Coach Elliott blitzed, and it was bad. So that's football, though. You know, and like Coach Stoops said at the end, they've got to understand you can play poorly in a game and stay in the game if you don't turn it over and you just let your defense stay in it, play great special teams, like Coach said. Then all of a sudden you got a drive to win the game, and situationally you do a great job in 2 minutes. You convert a couple third downs, you go down and score, you win the game, you think you're heroes, and you played like crud. But that's football. That's what they've got to understand about situational football. It's so important, you know. You get into the red zone, you got to flip a switch, everything becomes smaller, throws got to be better, catches got to be contested, you got to be more physical, more guys in the box, running backs got to run guys over, and so it all changes. So it's exciting to see them, and they're starting to get it. We're not there, we're not even close, but I do like the progress, I really do.
Andy, is it fair to say by the fall that you should expect, and we should expect, they can run the offense as fast as you want?
Yes. I would say by the fall I mean, we've got all summer. Now they know it. You can think about all summer as they install it themselves when they're out there and they're going. Now it's not going to be the thinking. Now they're going to be able to line up faster. They're going to know the play faster, so the play should go faster. The signals, they'll get those fast. Everything should be faster. If it's not, then we're not doing a very good job coaching.
Eddie, the fact that they were striving to be an up-tempo offense before you got here, how much has that helped you when you're trying to be, it was a different approach?
I think it's great, you know, when Neil first started here and they were up tempo and so they understand it. You know, it's nothing new to them. So I think that's always good when you come in and you do it, you know.
How much has Tate Levin progressed since the first day of spring?
You know, he's been a little bit inconsistent, kind of up and down, you know. Those guys on the edge when they're coming, you know, and most of his stuff is not because of athletic ability, which is a good sign. It's really technique. And he's got to do a little bit better job with his technique and listen to Coach Schlarman. And I think if he'll do that, then he's a guy that can help us. But I'm excited that it's not his athletic ability. You know, it's just it's his technique. It's usually his first step, you know, that gets him in trouble. Usually with those tackles, that's what it is.
Do you have a philosophy about playing true freshman linemen immediately versus letting Wade and your to work out?
No, shoot, if they're ready to go, let's go. Because you know what, in game 6, game 8, they might be able to help us win. And then it's going to be beneficial to us in year 2 and year 3. A guy that's got to step in there and go. So if they're physically ready to go, if they're mentally ready to go, a little bit more for an offensive lineman. But if they can go, let's put them in. There's no reason not to. I think it's important. I think it can help your team down the road.
All right, folks, thank you very much.
Guys, have a great day.